¿Qué pasa, mi amigos? Buenos dias. As you can see on my hat, it's that nasty. I just bought this hat, and yeah, ruined it whenever I was putting that mud flap on. So now I'm gonna have to buy a new one because I've got grease all over this one and road grime. So I'm here in South Carolina. Finally made it out of Georgia, headed up north to Indiana. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a little bit about my past couple of settlements, some of the troubles I've had with it, and I'm going to give an update on my Freightliner, and talk about a little bit about where I've been and where I'm headed. Stay tuned. Alright, so welcome everybody. By the way, I'm almost to 100 subscribers. I think if I hit 100 subscribers, I'm thinking about maybe trying to do a live. I haven't ever done a live, so I think that'll be pretty interesting. I know 100 subscribers isn't much, but it's kind of I think a good enough, amount of people that I can do a live without worrying about a whole lot of people showing up and embarrassing the crap out of myself because I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, today is Friday, May 7th, Settlement Day. But before we get into my settlement, I have talked about settlement since I was at Prime to go see about picking up my truck. And I can't really recall, I don't think I've really updated you guys too much since then about my truck. And I've known about an update for a little while, so I'm going to talk about that first. I actually called Freightliner, and it's probably been about a week now. Because I know that they've had it back at Freightliner for, well, Monday will be 2 weeks, I believe. This coming Monday. And so yeah, I gave them a shout, and I asked them for an update, and they told me, said, well, yeah, it needs a new part, and the part that it needs is on national back order. Yay me. So there's no telling when that's gonna come in. And be honest with you, I may have already mentioned this to you guys. I don't know. It's hard for me to keep up. When you've spent a lifetime trying to forget a lot of things, you tend to forget everything. So that's one thing I've learned about trying to forget some of your stuff in the past. You end up forgetting everything. But yeah, so it's on national back order, so I'll be stuck in this international for, I don't know, a while longer. I was hoping I'd be back in it before I went and picked up my wife. I'll be going home in about a week, and when I go home, I'm gonna still make a couple of videos. I'm gonna kind of show you guys what I do when I go home this time of the year. And I mean, it's very enjoyable for me, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it. But yeah, so let's. I tell you what. Before we get into the settlement, let's talk about where I've been too. So, like the video before last, because I just uploaded a video today. So the video before that was about lumpers. I was in Chicago when I made that video. So I'm going to rewind before that a little bit, because when I went and picked up, or to see about picking up my Freightliner, I had a load going to Arizona, then coming from Arizona, I shot back over to Missouri to see about if my truck would be ready, and that's when I found out that the part was on national back order. So then from Monet, Missouri, shot over to Colorado, and from Colorado, I picked up a load there north of Denver, and went to Chicago, had 2 drops there, and then took a drop to Louisville. Now, I think I mentioned this in my lumper video, that the reason I took that load was not only did it pay $2 a mile, that's before expenses, it took me to Louisville. And that area over there is a great reload area. So when I get to Louisville though, and I that's what got me started on my split brakes, because I wanted to drop that load as early as I could. And when you do a split brake, if say you're 30 minutes to an hour away from your drop, you can do an 8-hour sleeper berth, then get up, drive to your drop or your pickup, and spend the next couple hours there getting unloaded in off-duty mode, and that concludes your 10-hour break. So that's what I did, so that way I could drop it as early as I could, because it was an open appointment from like 7 a.m. to noon, and I think I ended up getting there about 9:30 that morning. I drop, go over and park, because I had parking, waiting for my next load. The first load that I get sent, and it blew my mind, because again, that's the whole reason I took the load going through Chicago down to Louisville, because, well, besides the $2 a mile, but because I knew that once I got to Louisville, it'd be a good reload area. Well, they sent me a load paying like $1.40, probably less, but around $1.40, headed all the way to Nevada. And I was like, no. What in the heck? Like, this is a good reload area. I should be getting a good, at least a $2 a mile load from around here going somewhere. Like this. That can't be. That's all that's here. So I told him, I said, no, that's ridiculous. I just came from Colorado, and I don't want to go back over there. Plus, I don't know much about the Nevada area, but I don't feel like that would be a great reload place. So I said, no, I'm not going to Nevada. Give me something else. And I even told him I was hoping to get them, there's a JBS plant there. I was hoping to get a load from JBS, that pays pretty good, maybe going into the East Coast. So anyway, I told him no, and next load I got sent was a $3 a mile load. It was a short run, but down to north of Georgia, around the Kennesaw area, or north of Atlanta. And so I was like, well, heck yeah, like, why didn't you just give me that in the first place? So $3 a mile going down to Kennesaw. Like I said, it didn't pay a whole lot, but it picked up that day and then it delivered after midnight. So I run down there, took a split brake, got it in at midnight, or got it in about, a little after midnight. By the time I got down there, I already had a pre-plan before I ever got down there. As a matter of fact, by like 5 o'clock that afternoon, I had a pre-plan. So as soon as I dropped there, I had to take another split, and still was 30 minutes past the set appointment time. But luckily it wasn't. It was a Tyson plan. It was that Tyson plan, so it wasn't a big deal. So it was I believe a $2 a mile load, and it picked up at that Tyson plan. I got there at 9:30, sat there for around, I don't know, probably 5 hours or so, give or take. And that load shot over to right underneath South Carolina, over around Savannah, Georgia. And then by 5 o'clock that afternoon, I wasn't even loaded yet, I don't think. I think I just hadn't been loaded for very long. About a couple hours later, I got a pre-plan already before I had delivered that one. Alright, so my dang phone overheated. I don't see how the sun's not really shining on it, but maybe because that my YouTube video I just got done editing is uploading as well as me recording. So, but anyways, as I was saying, I picked up that load from Tyson yesterday for $2 a mile, and like just a couple hours after I got on the road, got a pre-plan for the load that I'm on now. So, after I delivered the Tyson load last night, I shot over to pick this load up, and got there probably, I don't know, or it was fairly late last night, and then they had me loaded early, but I just went ahead and stayed there and got some sleep, you know. And then I got up this morning, I did go ahead and I PC'd over to the Pilot to get me some coffee and get going and edit that video, and I started uploading it, so I couldn't, or I was saving it, so I couldn't make this video. But anyway, so this load here, it shoots back up to Indiana, which is what I want. It's because Indiana's a pretty good reload area. Now I'm sure, I got a feeling they're going to try to shoot me some kind of bullcrap load again when I get up there. But this load here pays about $1.30 a mile if you go by the actual miles. If you go by Prime's miles, it's more than that. But if you go by the actual miles, it's $1.30 a mile. Now that doesn't sound like much, and it doesn't sound all that good. But typically coming from the East Coast, going back out, you're going to get lower paying loads. And the good thing about this load, though, is even though it pays $1.30, it's a dry load, which means I don't have to run the reefer. So that saves me reefer fuel money. And the second good thing is it's very light. It's only like a little over 16,000 pounds. So that's going to save me on tractor fuel, because I'm not gonna burn near as much fuel. Now the bad thing is I am gonna have to go through the Appalachians up through Knoxville and stuff, so I am gonna have to go through the mountains. But I'd rather go through the mountains with a 16,000 pound load than go through the mountains with a 40,000 pound load, which I have done before. So again, it is going to save me fuel going up to the mountains, because I'm lightweight. I'm not heavy, really that heavy at all. Boy, look at them mountains. Can't see the road good right now, but I'm going to tell you something. The wind is following me everywhere I go. I had one day of no wind, and that was yesterday. And today, it's blowing like crazy. I don't know if you guys can see it in the trees whenever I pass by them, but my gosh. It's just left to right, blowing me back and forth constantly. So, anyways, while we was coming up on these mountains, I wanted to take the chance to talk about the problems I've had with my settlement. So, I'll start with last settlement. I woke up, looked at my settlement. It said it's around $770, I think, give or take. And I thought, what the heck? That ain't right. Now, this was the week that I went by to check on my truck. So I ran 200 miles out of route. So I knew my check would reflect that. And then plus, I got a load coming back to Missouri from Arizona, and I knew it wasn't going to pay all that great. But I was kind of hoping my truck would be fixed by then. And so I only got those 2 loads on that settlement. So I knew my settlement wasn't going to be that great. But when I looked over my settlement, I realized that they charged me for shop time on stuff that had to do with it being hit by lightning, which should still fall under insurance claim. Now, this is that's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's an example of why I say that if you're going to be a lease driver, which you should do this even if you're not a lease driver, even if you're company, but especially if you're lease, you got to go over your settlements and really pay attention. I mean, even when I know my settlement seems to be right, I will still kind of glance over it, go over it just to double check on things, make sure they didn't charge me for some crap that I shouldn't have been charged for. Which is what happened here. They charged me when I went to Springfield to check on my truck the first time. They charged me for the body work that was done to it, which was supposed to go on the insurance claim from where the hot shot backed into me down in Texas. And then they charged me for the shop time to fix my power inverter and stuff, and hook up my Qualcomm stuff from things that happened to it when it got hit by lightning. After I had already made inquiries about it and asked questions to make sure that I wasn't going to be charged for that stuff, and I still was charged for it. So what was supposed to be around, I think, let's see, somewhere around a $1,700 settlement, turned out to be around a $770 settlement. So I had to make phone calls, call Success Leasing, call the shop, and try to figure out why these charges were put on me, which ultimately I got a hold of the main, the guy's name is Stuart there at Success Leasing, and I explained to him what went on, and I said, now these charges are supposed to be stuff that went on to the last two insurance claims. So he looked over it, he said, yeah, you're right. He said, the only thing I see that you should have been charged for was the slack adjuster on the brakes. For some reason it was back nearly all the way off. He said, so they had to readjust that. And I said, yeah, I already knew about that. I said, that should be the only thing I'm charged for. And so he did. He went over it and everything, and he said, all right. He said, yeah, I see everything you're talking about. He said, so you should be reimbursed over $900. I was like, all right. So I told, yeah, I'm in North Carolina. So I told my payroll advisor about it, and she said that she would be looking out for it. Now, I haven't had a chance to really go over my settlement really good this week. It looks like it's all there, but I don't know, because I was expecting over $4,000 because of that $900 that was supposed to be on there, and instead I've only got maybe $3,800. That seems a little shy to me, considering what I was supposed to make on my revenue. But I had some toll costs and stuff like that on there, and Prime doesn't pay all the toll costs, and so usually if any of the tolls are paid for, then it will usually only pay for a percentage of it, maybe half. And also, I think there might have been some detention time I was supposed to get, and I haven't got it yet, so that could be why too. But like I said, I don't know. I haven't went over it real good yet to double check. So I'm definitely going to do that this evening when I get parked. And if I find any discrepancies, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Oh, something else I found out. I was going over, like, in the app, on the Prime app, you can go over a lot of details, like on your CDL, like when it's supposed to be renewed, any of your certificates, when you have to renew those, down to your home time. Like when you set up home time, it'll show it in the app. Like it keeps up with all that stuff for you, your achievements, your awards that you've gotten, and all that stuff. So I went in there to check on my tire fund, because it'll even keep up with your emergency fund, your tire fund, and all that. I went in there and I was going through all that stuff, seeing when I needed to do an oil change on this truck, which is really soon. And then I went over some other stuff and came to my tire fund. For some reason, it says I'm negative $500 in my tire fund. And I have no understanding of how or why. I haven't had any tires put on anything except for this truck that I'm driving. And the tire that I had put on it should have been put on it for no cost to me, because it had a flat spot on it when they put me on it, when they attached me to it. Because this is just a temp truck. So if they charge me for that tire, yeah, I'm going to be severely upset about that. So I've got to call and find out about that at some point in time. I'll probably do that maybe like Monday or Tuesday. I probably won't have time today. I mean, yeah, I could pull over any time, but you know, I'm trying to. This load can deliver up to 24 hours early, so I'm trying to push and get there, get unloaded, get it off of me, so I can get on another one. But yeah, just one more freaking problem I'm gonna have to call and find out about. I mean, I haven't had so many problems like this just back to back since I've been at Prime until this year. I mean, it's just been non-stop since February. It's crazy. I made it! Gosh, what a day it has been. Oh, my hair's a mess. Put my hat on. Oh, man. I spent the biggest part of the day, or it felt like anyway, in construction traffic. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I don't think I've spent that much the last 6 months in construction traffic. I swear, 6 months of traffic all piled into one day, I'm telling you. And what is the deal with the speed zone limit being 55? Or the work zone speed limit being 55. And nobody can even hold a 30 or 35 mile an hour pace. It's been like that all day. Get into a construction zone and it's 5 to 10, back down to 5 to 20, back down to 5 to 15, 5, 25, 5, 30, 5, 20. I mean, all day long, man. Nobody can keep a steady pace. I don't get it. The speed limit's 55. I mean, is there some people, maybe some old people at the front of the line that's holding up the traffic? It just blows my mind. I do not understand. I don't get it. And I'm not saying don't be safe. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying, like, if we could just hold a 30 mile an hour, the speed limit's 55. if we could just hold a 30-mile-an-hour pace, a steady 30 mile an hour, it would be, it would be a dream come true. I mean, it would be the most amazing thing ever to know that Americans can work together in unison to do a steady speed limit. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, man. So, I've done some recording while I was driving, some construction zone driving. I think I'm going to do away with all that because I've done about an hour worth of recording going through the mountains and got some great mountains views. So I think is what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit some, and I'll probably put the majority of them at the end of this video. So as soon as I get done talking here, that's what's going to be next. Like I said, I'm going to edit it to shorten it down. But yeah, so if you want to stick around and see some mountain views, some of the views that you get to see out here as a truck driver, if you're not a truck driver, or maybe you haven't been in the area, I come up I-25 to I-75. I think it was I-25 into Knoxville, and then that cut over to Interstate 40. Let's see, or 26, Interstate 26 up to Interstate 40, and over in through Knoxville, and then now I'm on, I believe 75. Yep, 75 out of Knoxville. So, staying the night here in my home state, Kentucky, over here on the east side of the Loves. Tonight is shower night. I gotta get a shower. Oh man, I need one so bad. And just to feel human again and to calm my nerves with some nice hot water. So, but yeah, that's where I'm going to end the video. I think there was something else I was going to talk about, but man, I can't remember. I'm just glad to be here, and plus, my ADD causes me to have a really short-term memory. So, yeah, I can't hold thoughts for very long. But anyways, if you like this video, hit that like button, share, subscribe, and as always, be safe or stay safe, stay alert. Catch you guys in the next vid.